Maybe you just want it over your legs to begin with today. Wherever is just fine. So let's just go ahead and allow ourselves to really settle into this space, making sure that your feet are firmly on the floor, or if you need to have them up on a cushion or a pillow or something so they are making contact there. And let's just begin to sort of ground ourselves. Settle ourselves, center ourselves on this Friday morning, making sure that your legs may be going side to side and feeling that you're just really centered and comfortable in the chair. The hands resting however they feel comfortable. Take those shoulders down away from the ears. Take a moment to think about where your head is in relation to your body. Is it kind of coming forward? Or maybe you need to pull that back a little bit so our ears maybe line up over the shoulders. Our spine is long, open through the chest. And then we can just go ahead and allow ourselves to close our eyes gently, or just keep your gaze in a spot right in front of you. Time at the beginning of class to transition. To transition from whatever else we were doing before this time that you set aside for yoga. You may have all had a good sweat with Dan, I hope you did, and then now you're coming for some stretching, some release after your long week. I think it's a great compliment, way to end the week. And so I invite you, as always, we begin to just take notice. Begin to notice how we feel here, just sitting in our chair this particular morning. Every day it might be different. When we come to our yoga mat, we may be having different feelings going on in our body or our mind, and it's just good to check in with ourselves at the beginning of class so that it can help direct our practice, the way we need to go today. You may be having a day where the mind is just going nonstop. So a focus for you might be to really see if you can center that today. Keep it just present here and now. And just try to let go of everything else that's going on. To just keep yourself focused here. You may have some things physically going on in the body. Note what those may be as we begin, so that you're really going to take this practice in terms of what we practice for yoga, which is a non-harming. No harm to body, just noticing and listening to the body really fully so that we are doing what feels best for us. It's not necessarily what I might be doing, it's what feels best for you. So after taking some time to just come to the practice by knowing how you are feeling individually, we'll begin to take our time for the work with the breath. And I'm going to invite you to do some hand placement today, if you would like to, completely optional. I'm going to do the one where I just place one hand on my belly and then one hand on my chest. And as we begin to take in this yogic breath that we take in through the nose and out through the nose as well, The purpose of the hands today is to see if we can first just begin to feel what kind of movement we feel in either of these hands. So maybe as we begin the practice, you really feel like, gosh, I feel a lot of movement in the hand on my chest. I may be breathing in more of a chest breath to begin with. Or some of you may have settled right into feeling the breath expand at the belly so that it's really that diaphragmatic breath. Either way, what we're working for is to have more of the feeling in our hand on the belly, okay? So as we breathe in, we'll see if we can fill up the belly, maybe even the ribs and the side body. They expand into our hand. And then as we exhale, we just notice that hand fall back toward the center of us. All draws back into the center. So over the next few breaths that you take here as you're centering and breathing, see if you can begin to feel more expansion at the belly, the lower part of the body, and less through the chest. And let's not get real worried about it if you feel like you're having trouble with this. That's okay. Just breathe however, and just by taking your focus and attention to the breath, it is all good. So if you feel like you're struggling today to get that breath lower, that's okay. Just breathe and focus on your inhale through the nose, exhaling out the nose, and hopefully noticing how the body is becoming a little bit calmer here, a little more at ease, bringing ourselves to that parasympathetic nervous system, allowing ourselves to take this time for ourselves, a treat, to be able to set this time aside. We will take just a few more breaths here with our hands on our chest or belly, if you happen to be doing this with me today. When you're ready to slowly lower the hands back down to the legs, you can do that. And then just notice. Notice again how the body feels, where the mind has landed. And then to begin this morning, let's just continue to close our eyes. Bring our palms together. We're going to do the palming the eyes next. So we begin by rubbing the hands a little bit, warming them up just a little bit, starting to get some energy flowing there into the palms of the hands. When they feel warm enough, we just take and we cup them up over our eyes so that our fingertips are just resting gently against our forehead. And then we get to just slowly take in the darkness of the palms of our hands. And then begin to just separate slowly the fingers and slowly lower the hands back down to the lap. And then you take in the rest of the space around you. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to remove my prop that I had and come back to that later when I'm doing Shavasana. Today's practice is a bit more focused on balance and some twisting in the body. Okay, so you might notice a few more things that we do that are focused in that direction. Let's just begin sitting here in the chair with our long spine, and just begin to lower our chin down toward the chest. Feeling the back of our neck lengthening out. And then we begin to take our gaze up toward the sky, starting to open up through the throat center a little bit. Keep the shoulders relaxed and just go with what range of motion feels good for you. Go back and forth through this chin to the chest, and then bring the chin up toward the sky. Just a couple times. Really nice and easy. Great. Let's then take the chin back toward the chest again, but let's start to move our head over to the right. Kind of bring the right ear to the right shoulder, and then I'm going to just take the chin down for the chest again and start to just angle my left ear toward the left shoulder. So it's kind of like little half circles that I'm doing here. And just notice what feels good for you. You can sort of begin to lower the left ear toward the left shoulder and hold there a little bit. And then back to center. The right ear toward the right shoulder, maybe just hold there a little bit. And breathe. And then back down toward the center again. And look back up. Awesome. With our elbows just in this bent position here, we're going to begin to focus on the shoulders, a little bit of the shoulder blades. So I'm going to keep my elbows bent, and I'm just going to start to roll my shoulders forward. So I'm going to be separating the shoulder blades away from the spine. And then I'm just going to bring them back to center. I'm going to go through that motion a couple more times. Drawing my shoulders forward, and then just taking them back to the center position. We'll go the back movement after this. So we're just noticing how our shoulder blades are separating away from our spine and gently drawing them back to center. Just really mindful movements here. Just really focusing in there. Awesome. Now, from this center position, now we'll take the shoulders back. So the shoulder blades will start to draw together toward the spine. And then back to center. And we'll take that movement a few more times. Just drawing our shoulder blades back. You may notice how the chest starts to open, which is super. We want to open up that area, which tends to be tight in a lot of us when we live in a hunched over position, especially now even more with all of the computer work that we're doing. Everything is online. You might spend many days in Zoom classes or just Zooming with friends on your computer. So really allowing yourself to open up there. Nice, good. Okay, let's now start to, I'm going to come a little bit forward in my chair here just so I can feel like my spine is nice and long, my chest is open, and I'm going to bring my arms up to about shoulder height. Just going to open them up wide. Make sure you've got that room to the side of you here. If you need to adjust yourself so the arms can spread open, you can open the chest. And now we'll do our hug. So we'll take our right arm over our left and just hug it in here. Sometimes I like to tuck the chin a little bit, add the neck into it, and then maybe on your inhale, you open up. Maybe you look up a little if that feels okay, and then you switch which arm's on top. So then the left will come on top. You can hug it in. Our Friday hugs. Inhale, open up again. Exhale, right on top of left. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, left on top of right. Let's go one more time each side, and this time we'll hold it. So rock to the right on top of left, and we'll hold. Now, a couple options too. You can stay in just the hug position, maybe start to lift up the elbows a bit, okay, and lower the shoulders. Those of you who like the eagle arms, you're welcome to do that. That's the one where we cross them over, and then we bring the backs of the palms together. I'll turn to the side so you can see what that looks like. And remember on this one, and then you can also bind onto the hands if you want to. Those are options. You're going to lower the shoulders, but lift the elbows. So that's where we get that nice stretch. Again, you can stay right here in a held hug position as well. Your choice. So let's open up and just try one more time on the left over right, and then just hold here in our position. So we're going to either hold with the hug, lifting elbows, lowering shoulders, or maybe we want to practice eagle arms where we cross the left over the right, backs of the palms toward each other. I'll turn so you can see maybe you bind the hands together, lifting elbows, lowering shoulders. That's where we get that nice shoulder stretch. So your choice. And then open it up one more time, and then just lower the arms back down. Super, you guys. Palms out to the sides now. Again, I'm to the edge of my chair. We're going to take our nice balloon breath. So again, starting to link breath with movement. When you're ready to inhale, let your arms float up. Think about filling up a big balloon with full of breath. Palms will join up at the top. As you exhale, think about just deflating that balloon, letting the air come all the way out, and then they end at your heart center. Taking that again, inhale, the arms just float up. Maybe you look up if it feels good. Open the chest, exhale, palms back down through center, ending at the heart. One more time, inhale, reach up, fill up that balloon, exhale, draw the hands back to the heart center, and let's hold them here from the heart center. From here, let's just push the arms forward, fingers going out, and then open up again. Good chest work, and make a circle back. So pushing forward, opening up, and back to center. One more time. Push it forward, open the chest, and then ending at the heart center. Super. All right, let's from there go on to do a little work with our elbows, our wrists, and that kind of area. So we're going to do our take and give. So this one, we're going to turn our palms up, and we're just going to take in by just drawing our fingertips toward our shoulders, bending our elbows, and then we're going to give away by straightening out the arm all the way and letting the fingers drop down to the floor. Maybe on an inhale, you take it in, and an exhale allows you to give it away. Make sure you get that full range of motion if you can to get that nice stretch in our inner arm. I like to think about taking in goodness, releasing away stress and tension, right? A couple more times, taking and giving. One more. And exhale, release it. Good. Then the elbows here, bringing them towards your ribs, and the palms are up. So this one I like to kind of think about like you would be serving a tray of appetizers or something. You're going to just take and turn the palm out to the side here, and then draw it back in. And go over to your left side, just like you were serving up a tray to someone, and then you draw it back into the body. So try to keep that arm forward close to the body here. And whatever range of motion you have out in this direction is just fine. Okay, you might just go to here, you might be able to go all the way up to the side. It's completely up to your body. Maybe we'll try one more time each side. Nice. And then just flip the palms down and up. A little flipping here. And then how about some circling of the wrists? One direction and the other. And then making a fist with both hands. And then bringing the hands out straight with the fingers together, or a spear. And then make your claw. Remember, like you bend, you can see what I'm doing here, bending the claw. And then spread the fingers wide for the starfish. And then your fist again, your spear, fingers together and straight, claw, make a claw. And then a starfish with the fingers. One more time, fist, spear, claw, and starfish. Maybe just shake it out a little bit. Very nice. Okay, moving down to our lower body a little bit here. Let's take our feet maybe a little bit wider apart and make sure that we're at the edge of our chair. We're going to do that one where we circle. I kind of call it the inner jar stretch, like you're going to circle around a jar. And today we're going to start it more so we feel it more in the hips, maybe making it as big as you can. And then we're going to move it up our body into just kind of moving through our ribs, okay? So I just like to place my hands on my legs here. I hinge forward and then hinge and shift my weight over to the left. And then make sure you have the room behind you, in your back, and then over to the right. And let's just take this really thinking about the movement in the hips. You can place your hands on your hips if you want to, or I like to just have them on my legs. You're just making a nice circle here. Now start to bring that circle up a little bit. So now I want you to just think about moving through the ribs here. So now the circle is smaller. And I'm just kind of moving my torso, keeping my hips maybe grounded. So my circle becomes smaller and smaller until it stops. Good. Now let's try the other direction. That same thing, making it bigger and then drawing it up into a smaller way. So as we hinge forward, then we can make our circle over to the right, the back, the left. So now we're starting big in this direction, getting our hips involved, shifting our weight from side to side here as we make a big circle around. Just find some nice deep breaths while you're doing this. Now start to bring up the circle into the higher part of the body so it's not as big. So now I'm just kind of focusing here on moving my ribs. I feel like if I place my hands here, I sort of know that this is the area that I'm just moving now. Just finding those ribs and side body, a little bit of movement there as you're coming smaller and slower circles here maybe. Until we make a really tiny circle with our body. And then we bring it to stillness. Nice, you guys, really good. All right, placing the hands back on the shoulders again. We're gonna do a little twisting for our body. And we're going to stay in the center here and take a nice deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we're gonna twist and turn to the right. So I'm just kind of keeping my chest open with my shoulders out to the side. I'm going to take my inhale back to center. On my exhale, I'm going to go ahead and twist left. Inhale back to center. Exhaling, twisting right. Now, go ahead and just take this in your own breath timing. So you don't have to stay with me. You're inhaling center, exhaling from side to side. Just a nice warm up for the body here. Sometimes it's hard to move with the breath. See if you can get back on, focusing on your breath, and then meeting back to center. Now let's go ahead and take our twist a little deeper, and hopefully this will work for you. I'm not sure what type of chair you have, but I'm going to turn to the side of my chair here. I always suggest the chair without arms. If you have arms and you can't do that, you can just still take a twist. Your legs won't be to the side. But I'm going to bring my legs over to the right side here so I can take a deeper twist. And I'm actually going to use the back of my chair and just take a little deeper twist that way. So hopefully you can see this okay. I'm just taking a deeper chair by holding deeper twist by holding the back of my chair. I'm going to feel that movement from the lower body moving up and maybe turning the head and looking into it. And then I'm going to come back out. Hello again. I'm going to move myself back to center. And let's try that same thing on this left side. Okay, again, if you can't do that, you can still take a nice deep twist by holding on if you have arms in your chair or something. But if you're able to bring your legs to the side and then to go hold the back of your chair, get that twist to move from the belly up into the chest and then turning and looking over the shoulder. And then on your exhale, just go ahead and turn out of that and back to center. Great. Let's take some side-to-side movement in our body here. All the movements of the spine. Just with the arms at the side, right shoulder will draw down toward right hip. Think about some contraction happening there and some length on the left side of the body. And then just draw it up to center. Take a couple more, just to this right side. If you would like to, you can go ahead and take the other arm up overhead. So if you turn the left palm up and reach it up overhead, you can take a further side stretch. Just make sure you're really anchored through your whole hips and pelvis here. Maybe you need to hold on to the chair when you take a further stretch that way. So lots of length up through the side body there. Breathing deeply, and then when you're ready to exhale, just go ahead and lower that left arm down. Notice from side to side how you might feel, and we'll try that on the other side. Left shoulder is just going to start to drop toward the left hip. Contracting here, lengthening here. Back to center. Again, we're going just to our left side. Back to center. If you want to take the arm into it, turn the right palm up, reach up overhead, and then take that side bend a little more deeper here into the left side. So this right side body really lengthening up, ground down through your hips, maybe steady yourself in your chair. And then exhale and lower that arm down. Great. Okay, time for our back bend. Like I said, I think we spend maybe a lot of time in this position hunched over our phones or computers, and we need to open up. So let's reach back to either the chair, or I'll turn here. You could place just the hands on the low back, drawing your elbows back that way too. And just take your version of a back bend, whatever that might be for you this morning. Allowing yourself to really open up through the chest, but also get this area to release here too. Open up, couple breaths. Wonderful. Exhale and come out of that. And then let's go ahead and take a nice forward fold, but we'll take an absolute first. We'll open up and then come forward. Maybe separate the legs a little bit, because when we fold forward, that gives us space for our body, and I'm right to the edge of my chair as well. Both arms are at the side, so I'm going to inhale up to an absolute. So I'm going to really reach and open up the lungs and the chest, maybe look up, lengthen the spine, and then I'll take my forward fold. I'm going to bend from the hips, hinging forward, taking my torso over my legs, and you can stop wherever. Maybe it's comfortable for you to rest on your elbows here today, okay? Or maybe you're able to come and allow yourself to take the full forward fold, maybe resting your hands on your legs or on your feet, or maybe you like to even grab a hold of your elbows and allow the head to dangle. I do invite you to keep looking down at the floor, not up at me, and let your head release here. So you could even just do side to side movements with it, back and forth. This is a great time to release the neck. Keep breathing. If you need to separate your feet a little bit, your legs, do that so that you can breathe. All right, now we're gonna come halfway up and just take our arms forward again. Reach them forward. Engage through your feet, so make sure you have a steady, strong feet as you then hinge all the way up. And we'll take in another big up salute, and then take your palms together, and then exhale them right back down through to the heart center. Wonderful. Okay, a couple things we're going to do next, kind of for the core, but also for other areas too. We're going to take a pose called Dandasana, or stick pose, which we often do seated on the floor with the legs out, but we're going to do it in the chair. And you easily can do that by just sitting towards the edge of the chair, and I'm on my heels here, and my toes are up toward the sky. I'm drawing them back even toward my body so that I can start to stretch out the back of my legs, the hamstrings. And I'm going to sit up nice and tall and engage through my core, keep my spine long. Okay? Awesome. So just hold here a little bit, drawing those toes back as much as you can with straight legs. Now we can take our arms into this to engage our core even more. So from this position, just let those arms float up overhead. So keep drawing those toes back toward you. So the legs are kind of active here, guys. We're working here, lengthening, deep breaths. Exhale and lower the arms. And now we're going to bring the legs out wide. Now I'm still on my heels here. I'm not sure. Hopefully you can see me in the camera. I'm at the edge of my chair, and this one you can do on the floor as well. You can sit down, and if any of you are joining me on your mat, you would just be sitting with this Upavista Konasana pose. It's called wide-legged pose. So again, I'm just opening my legs up wide, but I've got my toes up toward the ceiling here. Just finding some stretch to the inner thigh. And then maybe letting overhead if you want to, just for a little more work in the core and lengthening the back. Deep breaths here with this wide-legged pose. Exhale and lower. Bring the legs back together. The last one we're going to do is where we bring both feet, the soles of the feet together, and the knees out to the side. This is called bound ankle, Baddha Konasana. Now, on this one again, all of these, I'm pretty much to the edge of my chair. Again, those of you on the floor, you do this on the floor. And we just open up the inner thighs even more, the hips. And you can have the feet closer to you if that feels better, or perhaps it feels better for you to have them away from your body. If you have a lot of tightness in the hips, you might need to have your feet out. So wherever it feels good for you, just the feet, the soles of the feet coming together, knees are dropping out to the sides. And then again, if you would like to lift both arms up overhead, engage the core, full deep breaths in this bound angle pose, Baddha Konasana it's called. In yoga, a couple deep breaths here. And then exhale, lower the arms and bring the legs back together. Okay, we're going to come up to standing now, and I'm going to have my chair so that the seat of the chair is facing me. All right, the first thing we're going to do, you probably noticed that we haven't done our cat-cows yet, which you know at every class I always work the spine. So instead of doing it seated today, well, we might do that at the end if we have time, but I thought we could do it in this sort of position where our floor raise by bringing our hands to the chair. So I'm standing in front of my chair, the seat of my chair with my hands here. Now, depending on your chair, the height of it, you might feel like you would like to have a little bit of height there. You can place a cushion or a blanket or something, wherever it feels that you can kind of do the cat-cow. Now, remember the cat-cow is where you drop the belly down and you get that arch in the back, and we draw the shoulders back and we look up, and then as we exhale, we want to round the back, draw the belly button up, press the feet away. So, however it feels best for you, adjust there. And let's go through a few of these cat-cows. Remember, dropping the belly down, you're arching the back, shoulders back, looking up. Exhale, you're rounding the back, pushing through the palms. Follow your breath and maybe take about, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 more of these cat-cows. I got my knees slightly bent here, if you can see that. But I feel like I'm getting really nice movement in this cat-cow. Basically, instead of, coming down to the floor, which if some of you are on a mat, you're always welcome to do that too. We're just coming up a little higher here by being on the seat. Let's maybe take one more. On your last one, just slowly round yourself back up to standing again. Awesome. Okay, after that little warm-up, we're going to take just a round of a sun salutation on each side. So, important thing, when we do the sun salutation, there's going to be a plank on the chair. And so I want to make sure that when you're placing all your weight in the chair and your legs are out in the plank like this, that your chair is really stable and secure. I've got it on the yoga mat, but if you need to push it up against a wall or something like that, please do that. I don't want anyone getting hurt in that. We also do down dog on the chair, so just make sure your chair is good and steady. So beginning right up here at the top, behind the chair, we'll take an inhale, take a big up salute, reaching up and looking up. On our exhale, we dive forward, we hinge from the hips, our arms come out to the sides, and we come down to our chair. Forward fold. From here, we just take and come up halfway. So I'm just kind of lengthening, coming halfway. Exhale, I can start to bend the elbows and come a little deeper in my forward fold. Then come back up again to straight arms, and we'll take our right leg back behind us into a lunge. Left leg is bent, and the knee is over the ankle. So here I'm in just a nice runner's lunge. From here, we go into the plank, okay? So if you need to step forward a little bit, get your hands either on the sides of the chair or maybe they go flat onto the chair, wherever it feels best. Because then you take that left leg back to meet the right and you take yourself into plank on the chair. Lower those hips. Now from here, you get to push those hips up and come into down dog. So up go the hips, back goes the head or the chest, and the head goes back toward the chest. I lower the heels down. I can bend my knees, but my tailbone goes way up. Chest goes back toward the legs in down dog. Then I can lift my head up and I can step forward with my right leg so that now I'm lunging on the other side. I'm going to step my left leg a little back, make sure I have my knee over ankle. So I'm in this low lunge. Now I'm going to step forward, put all the weight in the right leg, step forward with the left leg for a forward fold right at the chair. Take the arms down to the sides when you're ready, press through the feet, bring them back up into that big up salute, reaching up, palms come together overhead, and then exhale the hands back through to your heart center. Awesome. Let's try one more sun salutation. This time it just leads with the left leg. Okay, so same thing, inhaling, up salute, reaching up and looking up, exhaling, diving forward into the forward fold, bending from the hips, hands down, head lowers. Come up halfway, inhale, exhale, bend the elbows and lower down. Step the left leg back this time first into your lunge, okay? Knee over ankle, and stretch that heel back, so good stretch through the calf. Next is plank, so get yourself set up and ready to hold your body in plank. I didn't mention this before, but we want to try to get shoulders over wrists so that you have a good work. This is really good work, guys, for the upper body, okay? Good strengthening here. Keep those hips low, but then we push them back up. So it's just like this movement of straight back up as the head comes down. And step forward just a little bit, bend my knees, and allow my head and chest to draw back toward my legs. So I'm getting this nice stretch. If you straighten your legs, remember that gives a little more stretch for the hamstring, so if that's what's needed for you today, please do that. And then slowly come up. Now the left leg lunges forward first. I'm going to step my right leg back just a little more so I can get a nice deep lunge here. Yeah. Beautiful. Now we're going to take all the weight in our left leg as we step forward with our right to a forward fold at our chair. Let our arms come out to the sides. We're going to let them go out to the sides and up to a nice big up salute again. Maybe you even reach back into a little bit of back bend. If that works for you, palms together and exhale them straight back through the heart center. Beautiful. Nice. I'm now going to turn my chair so that the back the seat is away from me now, okay, for a few things that I'm going to do next. A little bit of balance work, like I told you. So, let's go ahead and take our right leg out to the side and our left arm up overhead. Okay, turn this way. You can see. I can hold on to my chair if I want with my right arm, or I can try to let go and maybe lift up the foot off the floor a little bit here. I'll turn here so you can see. We're just doing a little balance with leg out to side, arm out to side. Deep breaths, exhale, and lower down. Nice. Other side. So take your left leg out to side, right arm. You can hold on with the chair as you lift up the leg. That will be just fine. Or you can take your hand to your hip. Up to you. A little balance work here. Exhale and lower that down. Nice. All right. We're going to do dancer pose today, but for a little warm up for that, let's just try taking our left arm up. At the same time, we're going to bend our right knee, okay? And we can hold on with our right hand, and let's just reach back in the direction of the foot, and then lower the foot down and the hand. So I'm just going to reach back like this a couple times. Now, you can take your hand to your hip as you do this for a little more balance challenge. I will turn here so you can see. You can hold the chair or not. And you don't have to be anywhere near. You can just take the arm here, maybe the foot just comes up a little bit. Balancing here, and then lower the arms down. Nice. Other side. So, just go ahead and draw the right arm down toward the left foot. Maybe holding the chair. Again, maybe you actually touch the heel, or maybe it just comes up a little bit. You don't have to be anywhere near touching the heel. We're just kind of getting this general movement while having the balance in the leg. Nice, everyone. And lower it down. Great. Good. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to step out a little bit more to the left side of my chair here. So I kind of have my right hand holding. And I'm going to do a little bit of work engaging through the core as I take my left leg just straight forward here. Okay, so you can just see I'm just lifting it straight forward. Engage through the core, balance. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that leg all the way back and do a lunge again, crescent lunge. I can have the chair for holding on if I need to. And then maybe having one hand on the chair and one arm up, or maybe both arms up. And let's find a little bit of movement here. As I lower my arms, I'm going to straighten my front leg. See how I'm doing that? And then I'm going to bend my knee and let my arms float back up again. I'm going to take that just a few times here. So this is balance for sure because you are up on your toes. So if you need to hold your chair and just do this with one arm, that's completely fine too. Maybe one more. Bend the knees, arms up, straighten the legs, lower down, and then all the weight in the front leg as you step forward to your chair again. Good. Let's try that on the other side. I'm just going to turn my chair so I'm still facing you guys. So we began with that hold of the leg straight forward. Remember, we just keep the leg straight but lift it forward, engaging through the core here. You can take the hands off of the chair if you want to, engage through the core, hold that leg up. And then we send that leg straight back behind us to find our lunge. Okay? Remember to have knee over ankle. Now you can remember, you can hold on with the chair if you need to, or you can let go. Let maybe one arm or both arms float up overhead, and we'll do that movement again, where we lower our arms and straighten our front leg, and then we send our arms up as we bend into this. So straighten and lower, bend and lift. Again, you can hold on, just do one side if you need to. A little balance and strength and movement going on here. And let's lower down, follow our weight in that front leg as we come forward. Wonderful. Okay, moving on from here, let's try another balance pose, the crane pose. And so I'm going to stay just facing here, having my right leg all the weight in here as I start to just shift and take all the weight off my left. And I'm just this time, instead of having my legs straight out in front, I'm going to bend the knee and lift it up. Okay, I'll turn here and see. Now, it can stay lower, or if you bring it up higher, you're going to have a little more work through the abdominal region. You can let go if you want to, maybe hands to heart center or to the hips. But we're going to take a twist from here. We're going to twist actually toward that leg. So I'm going to take my right hand and just place it over my left, and I'm going to start to twist. Now I can have the chair here, or I can take my hands off the chair and try to take a balanced twist. It's up to you. And then bring myself back to center and lower that leg down. Nice. And then we'll try that same thing on the other side. So basically, your setup is that you want the leg that's going to be lifted, you want that closer to your chair so that you can hold on to it if you need to. So for me, I'm placing all the weight in my left leg, drawing my right knee up. I'm going to come up to wherever it feels okay for me, comfortable, that I can hold and be steady. Another thing in balance that I didn't talk about is that focus of attention on that drishti point. If you can take a spot that's in front of you and just focus there, that can help your balance. Maybe bring the hands to heart center or to the hip. Turn here. See me. And then taking the twist from here, yes? So I'm going to just, you can hold on with the chair if you need to as you twist. I'm taking the other hand to the chair, but I'm twisting toward that bent knee. then turn back out and lower the leg down. Nice. Okay, for this last standing stuff, we're going to have the chair. I want you to face the long end of your mat here. So if you can have the chair to the middle, because we're going to have our legs wide like this, that would be the best setup. So let's go ahead and step our legs wide apart. I feel like you can't really see me that well with the chair, but we're going to hinge forward from the hips and we're going to come down to the chair. Maybe I'll just do it this way, even though you're going to have your mat that way, okay? So you're going to hinge forward from the hips. I'm bringing your hands to the chair again. So this is a wide-legged pose. When you're here, maybe you want to come out a little bit more, be a little bit wider. It's up to you. Maybe you want to come and bring your elbows down. And then maybe you want to bend a little bit here. One knee and then the other, shifting your weight. And just enjoy the forward fold. The forward folds are really calming to our nervous system. So maybe you just want to hang out here for a little bit. And then let's add a little twist. So I'm going to come up to my hands here. And I'm going to place my right hand into the center. And then I can just twist to the left a little bit here. I can take my hand to my hip, or maybe my hand goes up overhead. And then back down. I can place my left hand in the middle, my right hand. Great, back to center. And then maybe heel toe in from this wide position to back to center. And then just slowly start to come up into a nice long spine. Maybe roll the shoulders a little bit. Super work, you guys. Go ahead and bring your chair back to a position like it was in the beginning. We're seated. And then we have a little bit of time, so as I said, let's, since we have time, we'll do a couple of the cat-cow movements seated. We didn't do those earlier, we did them on a chair, but let's take a few of those. So we hinge forward, or slide the sit bones forward, the belly come forward, shoulders back. I'll turn to the side so you can see how that looks. Inhale to cow, exhale, round to cat. Inhale, shifting forward, shoulders back, head up, exhale, drop chin, shoulders forward, slide the tailbone back. Maybe one more. Cat, cow, just to stretch it out here. Back up to the neutral spine. Arms out to the sides again. Let's take a couple more of these balloon breaths where we inhale, float the arms up, look up, big up salute, exhale, draw the hands back through to the heart center. One more, inhale, float the arms up, look up, reach up. Exhale, lower the palms back together at your heart center. And then one last thing before we get into Shavasana. Let's just take a little seated twist here. I'm towards the edge of my chair, and I'm going to drop both knees to the right. And then I'm just going to kind of take a little twist to the left here. You can do this one lying on your back too, where you drop If you're on your back, you can drop both knees to the right and turn and look to the left with your arms out to the side. And back to center. And let's drop both of our knees. I'm on the edge of my chair here as I drop both my knees to the left, and then I can take a nice little easy twist to the right. And then I'm back in center, and I'm going to grab whatever props I need to get myself comfortable for the ending Shavasana. So if that means taking your blanket again behind you, always remember there are ways you can, take your blanket over the shoulders to be in a nice kind of meditative position that way, or over your legs, a little lap blanket. I think I'm going to do that. That sounds nice today. And so find yourself maybe a little bit towards the back of the chair again, but keep your spine long, chest open. Let yourself ground. Actually, the blanket over the legs, now that I'm experiencing this, is a really nice way to kind of ground me even more. I feel really like the weight of the blanket is just sort of helping ground myself into the chair. Feeling supported that way, which is great. And then when you're fully ready to come to Shavasana, letting yourself come there by closing the eyes. Noticing first through the head see if you can smooth out through the forehead here. So some of the tightness that we can find through the eyes and forehead, I invite you to really let that go. Also to let go through your jaw. Maybe you take the shoulders up to the ears once on an inhale, and then exhale and feel what it feels like to let them release and stay there. Away from the ears, feel the length in the neck, the length in the spine, the openness in the chest. And let the belly, let it relax, let it be smooth and release so that you can feel the breath there again. If it would help for you to place a hand there again to direct the breath there, you're welcome. And just let yourself be. Let yourself simply exist here, noticing the breath. And knowing that the body is being nourished by the breath. How good it is for our body to be in a state of being at ease and calm and relaxed through our nervous system. So important. Deep breaths, and let yourself